Oh man, back in pads, humidity is as high as it could be. So great challenge for the guys. Highlight of my training camp so far is punt return. Full speed drills. Everybody gets one shot. You know, it's a heart drill. You know, who wants it more? And there's technique involved for sure, but it is a lot just strain. You know, so it was good to see that. Can't wait to watch the film to kind of see who popped, who showed up on that. So. And then just a great move the ball session at the end. Challenge him with the 3rd and long. Try to get into a 4-down situation, and then we just kind of had a normal drive to see if we can move it and see if the defense can get off the field. So I thought it was just a really good day. The guys responded to the work, came out full speed, great effort the whole way through, which is what we're looking for.
Dave, Hunter Renfro was not participating.
Yeah.
Looked like he was kind of walking a little gingerly.
Yeah.
What's the latest on him, Patrick Jones, and Mike Jackson?
Yeah, Hunter tweaked his hamstring. I asked him, I said, shoot, if we had to play Sunday, you think you're playing? He's like, oh, I'm playing. So just something that we, caught early, wanted to take care of him right here. I knew this was going to be a high day. We'll have a couple of days to get him recovered, and then we'll check in back when we, in a couple of days and see where we're at. And then who else?
Mike Jack and Pat Jones.
Yeah, Mike Jack's got a sore toe. We gotta just have to manage that and treat it right now. All the imaging and everything looks like everything's good, everything's intact. Just kind of stepped on it weird, so call it a toe sprain. But I think we're just being smart with that one, and we'll get Mike back pretty quickly. And who else did you have?
Pat Jones.
Pat Jones, upper respiratory, just couldn't sleep last night. And he was out here watching practice today, but we just didn't feel comfortable putting him back out at practice. Just, had a lot of tightness in his chest. So, they're treating him well in there, and we'll hopefully turn him around and get him back out to practice.
First illness versus not like a oblique or anything?
No, just illness, yeah.
Dave, this seemed like the most competitive practice in camp so far.
Yeah.
Bryce Young was in the middle of it. What made him so effective today, do you think?
Just guys being where they're supposed to be, and we're still working through some timing things, some void throws, some different, little tweaks to routes, but the guys are being where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. I mean, that's first and foremost. If you're going to be a skill player in the pass game, be where you're supposed to be, so Bryce can count on that. And I just love the way that it goes back and forth, offense, defense, and the guys each making plays and battling and competing every down. So it was the competitive environment that's happening out here is great. It's special. I love where we're headed.
We saw T-Mac drop a pass and then come back and catch like 4 or 5 straight balls.
Yeah.
For a rookie to be able to kind of wipe his memory of maybe a misplay or whatever and attack the ball the way he has.
Yeah.
What are you seeing from him mentally in practice?
Just shows a lot of confidence and belief. He's had some pretty bad plays, throughout camp, and he's had some excellent plays, and I think when you have a guy, he's teaching me stuff about him that I don't know, just looking at his character for him to, when guys bounce back quickly, it speaks to their confidence. They know they're good. I'll do it again. I'll be good again. And that's really powerful self-talk, and something that we try to remind all of our guys is to remember, good or bad play, I've done it before, I'll do it again, and have that kind of thought process, and he's showing that.
Has there been a common denominator in some of the struggles?
Not really. Yeah, I think honestly it's been just physical play. Whether it's JC or whether it's Mike Jack or Corey Thornton is having a great camp. Shamar's been making plays. A Caleb Evans, there's a really good competition, in the corner room. And these guys are all big. They're all over 6 feet. They're all over 200 pounds. And so that's a good recipe against big receivers, and so he's got his hands full every day, and it's bringing out the best in him, and he improves. Today I thought was his best day of camp, so he's learning how to play that game, just continue to use his body.
You mentioned Corey Thornton there, saying that was a great camp. It seems since even day one, he's been given the opportunity to rotate in with the ones. He's been in there the last couple of days to bike out. What have you seen from him from the spring to now that's gotten him in this position? Yeah,
he earned those reps in the spring by being where he's supposed to be, by being clued into our calls, and then making plays on the ball. Bottom line is, when the ball goes up, somebody's got to make a play. It's either the receiver or the DB, and he keeps showing up long and heavy at the ball, and so he's doing a great job.
Dave, Shaw seems to have gotten pretty vocal. Just in addition to his play, how have you seen that evolve as he's gotten more comfortable?
Another really confident kid, and I think Shaw's like, his understanding of the schemes, his communication, all those things. Now we're seeing the personality, and I love this. Again, something that I keep coming back to. When I start seeing personality, I know they're comfortable with what we're doing, and that's I got to give a lot of credit to the coaches working with these guys, but these guys putting in the work, and being able to continue to grow in their roles.
Backing off of Cassidy, it seems like the whole team is more vocal. Yeah. Does that bring a certain edge to the group? Does that fire you up as well?
Absolutely. I love it. And because, my thing to them is, guys, you got the green light to show us who you are. I'm giving you permission to make this team be what it's going to be. And particularly for each individual, show us who you are. Bring all of you, and if something's a little bit out of sorts, I'll approach it. I'll talk to guys about it. I thought there's 2 plays. JC made a beautiful interception today. Then he punted the ball. Okay, we can't do that, So then what happens? JT catches a great pass and spins it in front of the defense. These are penalties. We want to be a smart football team. We can't have those things, guys. Let a dominant play be dominant. Let it speak for itself. It does. And so I address those things, but I also kind of like it. I like the edge. I like the back and forth, but we got to be smart.
Dave, how's Rico looked, and what are your kind of plans for him at running back? You've seen him as more of a third down guy, or?
I don't want to get into the specifics of it. I think Rico has a lot of things he can do really well. He gives us, some variety of play types that we can do. But I think just in general as a starting point, he's exactly what we're looking for out of running backs. They run the runs the way they're supposed to be run, with discipline. They press the feet of the linemen, and then once they get past that first level, they run with violence. He does those things. He's exactly what we love about Chuba. He's exactly what we loved about Jonathan Brooks, bringing him in here. That's why Trevor Etienne is here. Even Raheem, just, the style that Raheem just runs 100 miles an hour. I'm going to go down the list now because Amani Bailey, same thing. He's all gas. And then Kayron Adams, he's another guy who just tough style of runner. These are the types of guys we want to have here. And I think Bernie does a good job of just kind of stoking the fire in the room, and those guys really set the tone of our practices. It starts in that running back room. Yes, we got to depend on the front players, the offensive line, but it's the finish of the running backs that makes the defense chase, work on angles. It makes them have to get behind their pads because our guys are running hard, and it makes us all, it's like this run game just kind of brings the whole unit together.
We were able to get him here. Had a starting role there last year.
I was super excited. I was really grateful to have 2,000-yard backs in the same room, and guys with experience, guys who can really do it all, who can pass protect really well as well, catch the ball in the backfield. He does that, so I was ecstatic. Dan Brandt and I were kind of working through the thing, and it looks like we're going to have a chance to get this guy, and I couldn't have been more excited.
You were talking about long corners earlier. It's kind of the Seattle blueprint. What was it out there that kind of locked you guys on that pro?
Yeah, I just think that length is forgiving. You love to have them all be like JC, runs 4.3, and he's tall and he's long and all the things. But when you're a 4.5 guy, length is forgiving. And the guy may have a step on you, but if you can go to that late win and get the hand in between his hands, you can make those plays. And then on top of that, it's just like their involvement in the run game. Coach E is so crazy and adamant about the corner showing up in the run game. And those big physical guys, whether teams are running a duo or a stretch play at them, when we got a call on them to be in their fit, they show up with physicality, and that really fires the whole group up when the corners get involved in the run game.
There was kind of a play that illustrated that in individuals where Jack Henderson kind of was able to kind of stretch out and break up a pass. Length at safety too is seemingly there. Do you like having interchangeable players based on body type like that?
Absolutely. If a guy can give himself a chance to have multiple roles, he increases his chance of making the team. And then the special teams, of course, like we talked about, is huge. But yeah, length up front. If you're an offensive lineman, sometimes you get out of position. Having good length allows you to let your feet catch up. If you're a defensive lineman, you keep guys away from your body, and then you can work edges. It works all across the field. That's something that that is an advantage to a lot of players.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Wonderful. On yourself?
We're here.
Yeah. Hopefully staying cool out here.
Probably more than you.
All right, what you guys got for me?
It seems like you guys on the O-line are gelling pretty quickly. Obviously, you have all that experience together. But is there like a sense of like, hey, I know what the guy next to me is going to do, and so I have to think less out here this summer?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say that chemistry is huge. I love playing next to Rob. Tremendous football player. And, you know, it's exciting just to be able to build what we started last year and continue to, you know, mesh and gel even better and just continue to take steps in the right direction, be the best players we can be working together.
Taylor, what made today's practice so competitive in your?
You know, full pass, come on, right? Obviously, we're all competitive people. It's all what helped us get to where we're at today, right, in the Professional Football League. And, you know, ultimately, we all want to win. We all hate to lose. You know, pass, come on, it's obviously a little more serious. And, you know, that just brings the most competitive nature out of all of us, right? I know I hate to lose, so I think we all share that sentiment.
What would you learn about Bryce Young last year, what he went through and how he came out of things?
So Bryce is a tremendous young man, great football player, tremendous leader, someone who, you know, knows how to handle adversity, obviously. And, you know, I love playing with the kid, and I love being able to protect him and doing everything I can. You know, huge part of the reason, you know, I want to help win. He deserves to win because, you know, he puts a lot of work into his craft. So, you know, I'm excited about the upcoming season with him.
Nicky said a lot of the young edge rushers had a lot of juice. From your perspective, what do guys like Prince and Nick really bring to the defense going up against those guys?
They're tremendous defensive ends. Obviously, a lot of upside. And, you know, I'm just excited that they're in the D-line room, the offensive linebacker, outside linebacker room, right? I think they're going to be a huge part of our defense this year, and they're, you know, making me better day in and day out, going against guys like that, obviously workhorses. So, yeah, I'm excited about the upcoming season with them.
Taylor, you've been one of the most consistent right tackles in the league pretty much since you became a starter. And I know...
Appreciate that.
Well, but in the... Statistically, look, I'm not making it up. But, like, in the NFC, it's kind of tough at right tackle, obviously Lane and Sewell and all those guys. How do you kind of compartmentalize, like, the lack of Pro Bowl recognition or maybe, like, the recognition that you might have earned, you know, over the years here as one of the more consistent players?
You know, a lot of that, I fall back on controlling what you can control, right? You know, maybe I don't get a Pro Bowl or an All-Pro, but at the end of the day, I want to, you know, rest in bed and know that I did everything I can to be an All-Pro caliber player, a Pro Bowl caliber player, right? With the habits I do day in and day out. What happens at the end of the season happens, right? But I know that I'm going to do everything I can to control what I control and be the best player I can be to be that Pro Bowl caliber player. So that's it, right? It's all about just the daily habits. And, you know, once you know that you did everything you can, did everything the right way, you know, that there's nothing else you can do, right? So just why worry about something you can't control?
With that said, keeping that level head when it might affect contracts or, you know, overall incentives or whatever, like, do you just kind of have to, you know, what do you do to kind of, outside of saying, hey, I can't control this, what do you, like, what's the conversation like with maybe your family, with yourself, like, you know, you're in a walk year. I mean, that's what it is. Like, how much do you kind of think about it from a financial standpoint?
You know, comes from a financial standpoint, I try, you know, not to think about it too much. I try to just take it one day at a time, right? The whole financial side of it, the contract side of it, I'll leave that up to my agent, Joel. I believe he's a tremendous agent. Love working with him. And, you know, like I know you said, right, control what you control and all that. But that's it, right? I come out here, I do my job to the best of my ability and do what I can to help this team win. And, you know, other than that, you just let the chips fall where they may and I just want to do everything I can to, you know, prove my worth to the team. So,
how long do you want to play?
Well, taking it, I know I have another contract in me, right? I know I have more good football in me. I've heard the rumblings about my health, but I'm feeling great. Even though I got a year 9 mind, you know, body feeling like a rookie again. So, you know, I feel I got some good years left ahead of me. But like I said, all I'm worried about right now is the 2025 season and, you know, attacking these means this afternoon, right? What's next? That's what it's all about. So.
How much of that is because of what this offense has become in the past year? Just meaning like feeling young again, being out there and wanting to keep playing.
I've said feel young. A lot of it, I have to give a lot of credit to the strength staff here, the athletic training staff here, you know, building a great program for me when it comes to rehab stuff, recovery stuff in the weight room to, you know, work on my bending, working on, you know, strengthening all my tendons or what have you, things to just make an old man feel new, right? So I want to give a huge credit to those guys, and yeah, I think that they've helped me out quite a bit at years of my career. But you know, again, that's it though. But I'm, like I said before, I'm very excited about this offense. I'm excited about this whole team, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So.
Understanding, like you said, control what you control. I know that's your mantra, but excuse me.
Yeah, right.
But is there something unsettling, you know, going into the season, knowing this could be your last one here, and you know, kind of thinking along those lines at all?
I try not to think about it. I've had some of my best years here in Carolina. I know I haven't won, but the city, being a Panther means a lot to me. So it's crazy. You don't know. Obviously, I want the years to continue, but if it's my last year here, I want it to be my best year. I want it to be the offensive line's best year, the offensive unit's best year, team's best year. Do whatever I can to help us be our best yet. So I'm a little emotional about it. No. All the blood, all the sweat, all the tears, right? I've been through so much here. Being a Panther means a lot to me. The city means a lot to me. I found my family here. I found my son here, you know? So much sacrifice has gone out on that football field, the practice field, here at Bank of America Stadium. I put so much time, so much heart into it, right? So it's just crazy, you know? But at the end of the day, just focus on finishing this out the right way. If it is, you know, obviously, like I said, I have some good years left, but I have a deep passion for this city, for this organization, for all the guys in the locker room, all the staff, everyone involved in, you know, making this thing go. So, yeah, it's hot. Yeah. Jeez. Who?
Cam
Newton, sweat pack. That's a major throwback right there. I was hoping that stayed in 2017. All good. Appreciate you guys.
Good morning. Today felt like the most competitive practice in training camp. What in your opinion, in your eyes, what made it so competitive?
I just feel like we're getting like the hang of it more. The guys like are flying around. They know the defense. They're not thinking about certain things like they were the first day. Guys are getting more in shape. So like as we're like getting back in shape, we're learning the playbook more. I feel like guys are just going to keep going harder, and we're just going to keep competing more harder and harder each and every day.
Devontae, there was a moment in one of the earlier drills where I guess Shaw was not happy with y'all's energy level, kind of pulled you together and demanded it go up. Has he been doing that more and more often, and what do y'all see from him there?
Yes, like Shaw's stepping up big time on the field and off the field, just trying to pull guys together. That's the thing I like about him. He's always going to like doing the right thing. He's going to always handle himself first, and then like try to get guys on board to be on the same page.
When Dave was up here a few days ago, he mentioned one of the bigger growth points he's observed with you is the way you communicate. How do you believe that's different than last season?
Just like you, like the more you're in the defense or in the defense, you know the playbook more. You get comfortable with it. So like I'm more comfortable. I know guys' job, other guys' job. I know my job, and so just like knowing that, I can like communicate better. I can communicate faster, and get everybody on the same page.
Was there a moment where you felt that difference?
Just like going into this season, like I knew the playbook pretty well last year, so I did a little bit of that last year. But just like knowing it, like I know a little bit more, so I can like communicate a little bit faster this year.
When you have a guy coaching like Ronaldo Hill, who played in the league as long as he did, how beneficial has he been to your growth heading into year two?
Good. He's a smart guy. So just always like when I'm in a meeting room, just trying to pick his brain, seeing what he thinks about what I'm gonna do on this play or another play. Just always trying to pick his brain, like different situations, and seeing what he's like. If he was out there, trying to see what he would see if he was out there in my shoes.
Do you wear the watch during practice?
Yeah, it's Apple Watch. Yeah.
Are you like tracking the workout?
Sometimes I check my calories. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh? It's not on here right now. Let me see. So right now I burnt 740. Yeah, but it's Nah, it's not. Yeah. I don't got my steps on here. I don't think it's on here right now.
Have you been sleeping well, according to the Apple Watch?
I really know. I sleep all right. Yeah.
During practice?
I'll be wearing it. I haven't. I bought it this year, so I haven't got a chance. I might.
Your rookie show was pretty well known last year. Have you given any advice to guys with that?
Yeah, I was telling them about my story last year. I was just telling them like how I got up there. My first time I didn't have energy, and they booed me off the stage. Second time I got up there, I tried to have energy. I forgot the lyrics. And then third time I got up there, I just they told me to sing a different song, so I just changed my song. And I finally got it right.
Trevin said that y'all are letting the guys off easy this year because they get to perform as a group. How do you feel about that?
I don't like that because I was in a hotel practicing like on the second day in my shower singing, reading the lyrics and all that. So I don't like that. That's what I said. You said
Behind the choice, I was just trying to remember.
It was like, I don't know, like a lot of R&B songs, like word for word. So I kind of knew that one. So I picked that one and I tried to learn it. And like I feel like it's like a good, like, got a good chorus and like it's not that long. So I picked that one.
Time, Candy Rain, that's an old.
Nah, yeah, a little bit. Not, yeah, old time. Huh?
A little bit before your time.
Yeah.
After a couple plays today and maybe all of camp, that you and Chuba end up kind of lowering your shoulders into each other, like with a little pop.
Yeah. We were just trying to like make each other better, being more physical on both sides. So it's nothing like nothing personal, just making each other better. It goes on with everybody.
No, I wasn't suggesting it was personal, but it seemed like he's trying to finish a run and you're trying to finish your play.
Yeah, we're always trying to finish each other's plays. Like Coach Canal just making an emphasis on finishing the play, making sure like defense tackle and wrap up or thud up on make sure we get the running back down.
Earl got a little heated with y'all during the portion of practice. What have you seen from him, Evero?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Got a little heated at one point. What have you seen from him this season? Does he have a bit more edge to him?
Yeah, I feel like Coach E always got a good edge to him, but he's just trying to make sure that we stay on our physicality and make sure like we don't like not talk about last year, but just not make sure like it's a better season this year and make sure like we're physical and we're a better defense this year.
Jack Henderson's kind of in a similar situation. We're in last year. What have you noticed about him, and what does he do well?
Jack, he's a great guy. He comes in early, leaves late. So Jack's been doing a good job. He plays in the slot. He plays in the back end. He can cut. He can communicates well. So he's a guy that does it all. He's been doing a really good job.
Have you given any of the undrafted guys kind of advice?
Yeah, I was just telling him about. I told him about my story and how like what it took to help me make the team and like what helped me succeed in the league and try to stay.
A couple more.
What's the most calories you burn?
I don't know if it's accurate, but my watch said like 1,600. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's probably wrong. Yeah. Yeah, because when you pass on, it get different. Yeah. Thank y'all.